It's Rodimus. He's over here listening to Rodimus.
Okay. Now we're ready to deep throat.
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready to? It's a podcast where we ask.
We're the podcast that asks, do you chipmunk blight balls? And on that note, we are starting in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to episode 229 of the Guardian Hub podcast, where we talk about Destiny and Season of the Witch. And I was barely ready to start when Cyn counted us down. Good thing I was. Cyn, you're ready. How are you doing tonight?
Yeah, I don't think you're ready for this jelly. I am well, sir, as always. How are you?
Are you always well?
No, I pretend very well, though.
Of course. Don't we all?
I pretend decent.
Decently enough. Yeah, doing good. We're on episode 229, and we have at least a few things to talk about this evening. Des is not here. I think it's just us two, although as we record live, we are generally okay with if people want to join. If you're in the chat, raise your hand, or if you have special permissions already. And we do have some questions too, at least one.
How about we got a jam-packed
show? We'll be right back after these messages.
Right back after this.
Have you ever wanted to play Raid Shadow Legends?
I thought we were doing the manscaping ad. Dang.
No, Raid Shadow Legends is a fun game that you can play where we claim it's free, but you have to buy lots of things for it to be fun.
That's a bunch of nonsense.
I mean, there is the talk about Destiny, the Eververse store. I was gonna say hoo-ha. Brouhaha. Do you know what I'm talking about, Cyn? No. Okay, let's get this article right here.
Why don't you do that?
A good way to talk about it. All right. Destiny 2 is now reselling old seasonal cosmetics for 9 times the price.
So basically, if you didn't get it for free or for Bright Dust back then, you can pay for it now at a much larger sum of money?
Yes. All right. So this week at Reset, Destiny 2 players were greeted with a message saying that the Season of the Worthies Battle Pass cosmetics have returned for sale. These items were originally part of, the $10 season pass 3 years ago when that season arrived. However, saying rather than offering a $10 bundle to echo the original price, they're now selling all the pieces separately. I mean, isn't this supposed to be what the Bright Eververse engrams are for, right? Give us the old stuff.
Could be.
Anyways, rather than offering like a $10 bundle or $8 bundle or whatever, or maybe even 15, because they say like, well, you don't have to go through the work of leveling up a season pass bar, right? But they're selling them all separately, mostly priced at what they'd cost in the current storefront, including things like $15 sets of armor ornaments. So in all, if you add up the total of all that content, it comes to about $90.
Eesh. It's a little bit much. I mean, I don't think it's a piece of property. I don't think that stuff goes up in value. And it's not like you can buy it and resell it. So to me, I'm never going to buy it anyway, so it's never going to faze me. A little bit ridiculous if you do want it. But, my TLDR on that, or, notice for the Destiny community, don't buy it. You don't need
No.
it. There's plenty of other stuff out there.
Yeah. I mean, we can just ignore this. We don't have to be that salty about it, but it's kind of stupid and it's some bad press. And, one article I'm reading, there is a gem of a good idea buried in here. What they could just do, what would be cool is if they re-offered these season passes for the same price, like $10 or whatever, and you could do them like if you never got a chance, right? Just for the cosmetics and the things in the season pass bar, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I guess I get it. It's for the white whales, the people that have not played back then, and they want to get all that stuff. So since some time has passed, it's like, ooh, that stuff I don't have. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
But
the spenders, as I like to call them.
Yep, not for me, not for you.
Definitely not for me. I do spend. I take that back. I do spend some. Like I've bought a couple like silver bundles that have come with emotes and stuff from the store, but that's about it. I mean, we're talking $10 or $15 once in a blue moon.
Yeah. What else is new?
We've done some raiding.
Yeah, well, I was even thinking, is there anything IRL that's new? I don't know. It'd probably be boring anyways, but
your parts are about to be here. So I ended up I was going to order my processor and
we're talking about computer parts.
Yeah. Because you mentioned it earlier, right? So you're talking when you talk about IRL again. So I had a little snafu where I had an old water cooler for the processor set in my cart, and I thought I had saved a new one after talking with Edda for a little bit. The one that I had saved had some not so great reviews overall, so I was going to switch it up, spend like $20 more, and get the one with a little bit better reviews. But I didn't realize I never changed it out in my cart. Ordered it, then I canceled my order, and now I have to reorder. I actually have to go back and reorder the other stuff tonight, which I got to do, which I'm going to do after the show. So it'll be half the stuff that I need at that point. So it'll have the processor and the cooler. I'll just need my SD.
Uh-oh, you're roboting. Cyn, are you with us?
Are you with?
Hopefully it's not me.
Hopefully.
Hurry, someone else join so we can see whose fault it is. It's probably Cyn. I never have internet issues.
Is it me now?
You're better now. Yeah. Ed said it was definitely Cyn in the chat.
That was me that said it's definitely me.
What were you doing in the middle of a podcast? Switching to Wi-Fi or something?
No. It's I've had that happen every now and again, and I don't know. It seems like Destiny and my game or my audio will stop working for like a split second, usually about 15 to 20 seconds. I don't know
what kind of a weird ass build you did on your current computer, and I'm worried you're going to have a weird ass one on your new computer too.
It has nothing to do with the internet. Let's be real.
Oh man.
Anyway, I blame Comcast. Comcast, if you're listening, your internet sucks.
I have Comcast. I never have any problems.
Well, I am in West Virginia.
Yes, maybe that's what it is. Anyways, yes, Ed also wrote in the chat, Cyn done goof with his ordering the parts.
I did.
But yeah, I mean, I wasn't really super itching to do a new PC build. My story is kind of, I'd been looking on and off for the last 6 months to a year of maybe upgrading the video card because, you can do that as long as, well, it depends, but usually you can do that. And I had like by today's standards, lower middle end, but it was definitely upper middle end when I got it, just a Radeon 5700. That's actually pretty similar to the card they put in the PS5s. It can be very good if you optimize stuff for it, and pretty good 1440 card, not the best, but I would, when I'm playing Destiny, I would often get like 120 frames, stuff like that. Anyways, I flirted with getting their 6,000 line of cards, and just the cost and it being just only a little bit better, unless it went up to like a 68 or a 6900, I just wasn't sure. And plus, they were getting a little bit older. And then they made the 7,000 series cards, but it was just the 7,900 at first, which was super expensive, high end. And then they made the 7600, which was lame. It would basically be no better than my 5700. And I mean, a newer architecture, but like number crunching wise, not really any better. And then finally, they came out with some more of their cards. I don't know what they're waiting for. Maybe just a press conference, or maybe because they were waiting for Starfield to come out because, AMD has a big partnership with that. But the 77 and the 7800 came out. I'm like, okay, finally, there's a card that I want. The 7800, it's a $500 card. It came out cheaper than when the 6800 even first came out. And it's just a titch better than the 6800, but it's on a newer architecture too, so it uses less power and heat and everything. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get a card. But then I could have plugged it in my current motherboard, but there'd be a little bit of bottlenecking. And then I'm like, yeah, my processor's a little bit older too, even though I don't do CPU intensive things. I'm like, I'll just look at a new processor. And then it just opened the whole, okay, new motherboard too. So
you went down the rabbit hole.
I did. And the only reason why I did it too is because I signed a new customer recently. So I'm going to be using their first couple months of money to pay for this. So I can kind of earmark it that way. But yeah, I'm going with the whole new stuff, AM5 motherboard. So the latest chip thing, at least for AMD, DDR5. You have to do DDR5 RAM with it, but you probably should these days anyways because the prices have come down for DDR5. And then everything there, and I'll have my build soon. So for those that don't care about PC stuff, sorry we were boring you for the last several minutes, but yeah, and it is a business expense also, Rodimus. It really is. I mean, so yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, I still have to have the money, of course, but then it'll be less in taxes. You want to come around for tax time?
That is true.
Yeah.
Game in the system.
I mean, not really. I forget to do a lot of business expenses, like the small ones. Like I'll go out to like a lunch with some friends, and even if it's like a potential business opportunity there, and even I talk about my business, I don't really keep track of all that. I don't know if it's really that much in the long run, but there's probably some things I could actually claim expenses more so. So if you hear this, IRS, I'm definitely not overclaiming. I'm underclaiming, if anything.
Man, you should claim more.
Hey, I'm already doing good. I already pay less taxes than you do anyway.
Probably.
No, it's true. My effectual tax rate's like 5% or something like that. Because when you run an S corp, when you're a small business, just a one-man person, you only have to pay yourself like a small salary, and then the rest is just dividends, and you pay less taxes on the dividends part versus the salary part. So I'm already paying less in taxes. So again, why I don't want to do too many business expenses and have any red flags come up or anything.
That's true.
Yeah. I did just hear, though, and this is good news. I think everyone can agree with this. Their IRS is going to be adding some, and maybe this won't pan out this way, but some AI stuff and some more computer-generated stuff, so that auditing will be more looking towards the high-income earners instead of. There's been a lot of proof and talk in the past where they audit more just like middle America. It's super annoying, and like the super wealthy people, no matter your political affiliation, but the super wealthy people get passed over. But they're actually going to start looking more into auditing the super wealthy people instead of the middle income people. So that's always a plus.
Yeah. Let them pay more.
Or at least let them pay their fair share. I'm not saying they have to pay more, but pay what they should have been paying.
This is true.
All right. Enough of that. Destiny Crota Raid has been out for a couple weeks now, and we are still playing it a bit. We having fun? We liking that, Cyn?
Yes. I've been getting some red border drops, some Oversouls dropping, and it's been fun. Every run's interesting. I don't think we've gotten it down to the 30-minute time bucket yet, like we were doing in the raid marathon, but it is still fun.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like we said last week on the show, and I don't think our opinion will be changing anytime soon, but it's a good remake of the raid that they did, and it's a fun raid, at least way more fun than Ron, and of course we're all in it right now, and a lot of people running through it. And this is a good time to talk. We have a question because they also gave us some new answers in the TWID, which I think everyone will be happy about. So, question from Average D2 player. He wrote this actually today, earlier this morning. Well, afternoon, whatever for him in the UK, but for us in the morning. And he said, as we know, Crota has been out for a while now, and the exotic is the well-known Necrochasm, which dropped as a guaranteed reward during contest mode for the first time in Destiny history. And now contest mode is a distant memory, has become a quest for the rest of us like it was in Destiny 1. So 2 questions. Do you think being a guaranteed drop for contest mode is a great idea, and should that be a standard going forward? Let's answer that first before we get to the next one, because that'll be a longer discussion. What? Definitely yes. For contest, if you pass it on contest mode, yeah, have that be a guaranteed drop.
Well, it's always, all the previous ones have been guaranteed drops, though, or at least the last couple, I thought.
No, none of them have.
Yes.
Am I misremembering this?
I think so.
Someone in the chat let us know.
I'm pretty sure it was because, what was it?
Ed, the previous raids or anyone else in the chat, they never gave you the weapon guaranteed. Crota was the first time for contest mode, right? That gave the weapon guaranteed? The exotic weapon?
No, I'm pretty sure there was other raids in the past.
Yeah, Ed seems to be on my side. If you can remember any, Cyn.
Wasn't collective obligation guaranteed?
On contest mode. He says
Correct.
no, and I'm saying no. Well, let us know. Or if you find any articles to prove it, Cyn. The only thing that was guaranteed was the super special emblem and bragging rights.
No, I seem to think there was other ones guaranteed.
Well, if you can prove it, Cyn, we will bow down to you. But two-thirds of people right now are saying no. Anyways,
drop. Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google it.
Let's just, anyways. Plus the fact that he was writing the question that way. Anyways, but just answering that question, Divinity wasn't guaranteed contest. They didn't even have a contest. Well, maybe they did, but yeah, that's different too, Ed. Anyways, what they did this time, do you think it should be standard going forward? I guess it's going to be hard to answer because Cyn thinks they've already been doing this. But I don't think they have. But yes, I think they should do this going forward. I guess we can both agree on that, right? Yeah. And then the other question, if Cyn's still with us.
I am. I'm Googling now.
Do you prefer quests for raid exotics or just rely on RNG instead for the exotics? Well, I'll answer it first. I mean, I've kind of answered this before. I don't know if I really have a preference one way or the other. I guess a slight preference is to RNG drops. However, I've said for quite a while now, I like a variety. I really like how Garnet Salvation was a quest drop. And I feel like they should do that every once in a while. Maybe half as often or less. And it's been a while since they've had something like that, so I'm glad this is a quest drop again. Now, as we're going to talk about in a second, there is definitely some more RNG-based elements to it, although that's going to be mostly gone as of an update coming up. So even less for people to complain about there. All right. But Cyn, do you like RNG drops? I feel like you've liked them because you've generally had good luck with RNG drops.
Yeah, for the most part, I've had pretty good RNG luck. There's been a couple that I haven't. I think Vex took me a while. There was another one that took me a little while as well. Was it Touch of Malice?
But a lot of them you have had good luck.
For the most part, I get them fairly quick, right? I like both sides of the fence. I think, RNG drops are good in some instances, and I think quests are good in others. I don't think they should do the same thing over and over. I think mixing it up a little bit is always a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm still looking to see about this.
Well, you're not going to find it. I guarantee it. All right. So they gave the numbers of clears and stuff for Crota's end numbers, essence drops, and more. And they go on to talk about, because there's already been discussion, improving drops for essences. Now, it's kind of been funny, the discussions have been going around. Like, we know that you have to get 20 right now 20 essence drops to get the gun, and then another 15 for the catalyst. Okay, but then people were floating around things like 55 weeks. What? Like worst case scenario would be 20 and then 15, so 35 for the catalyst also. Plus, you can do triumphs if you want. Plus, you do have already right now a small chance of getting an extra drop a week. So worst case, if you didn't do any triumphs and you never got an extra drop per week, it'd be 20 weeks for getting the gun, and then another 15 weeks after that for getting it masterworked, the catalyst, and then masterworking it. However, due to feedback, they are already changing this. We kind of thought they might. Happy, I guess, and surprised they're doing it this quickly. So what they're going to do is the first clear of Crota's End each week will now provide 2 guaranteed essences of the Oversoul. So the guaranteed weekly drop from defeating Crota and an additional drop for beating each encounter in order from start to finish. So 2 guaranteed, yes, Ed. 2 guaranteed, plus there's more. There's even more. We're going to be able to farm it. Then each time you do a full clear, you're still going to earn that additional guaranteed essence. So now there's a way to get them that way. We are also increasing the drop rate of the random drops for repeated clears for each encounter. So what this is saying for those of us that care, I mean, when this patch comes out, okay, September 19th, so this next week, when this patch comes out next Tuesday, or right around the time you're hearing this podcast, it's farmable, boys and girls. We're getting 2 guaranteed, and then we'll get 1 for each clear, plus even random chances per encounter. So if we really want to hit it hard, I mean, I'm at 12 right now. A lot of us are like between 7 and 10, at least the ones of us that have been rating a bit and care. We'll have this done maybe by the end of next week or the week after. At least we're getting the gun. I don't know,
right,
with the catalyst and everything, but this will be going much faster now. Like this is increasing it, I would say, not just twofold, but twofold plus farming however much you want to run it. So potentially all of us are getting it pretty quickly now. And because of that, expect to see even more Crota in the raid bot in these next upcoming weeks.
It has definitely been jam-packed with Crota.
Holy cow. I know. I can't think of another raid I've seen so much.
Definitely not Val or Root of Nightmares.
Yeah. Crota has been off the charts with filling up the raid bot.
Keep on doing it.
Keep doing it, people.
And I did look. I was trying to skim some of the This Week at Bungie old articles, or which is now called This Week in Destiny. And I thought I remember one of the raids having a guaranteed drop of the exotic, because I want to seem to think that when people were clearing it, they were getting the exotic to drop. And maybe it was for World's First. Maybe it was only those who got World's First that got it.
Anyways, maybe for World's First, but trust me, there's not really anything else. Unless you're thinking like Garden and they went back in it right away and got it, so it seemed like they were getting it right away because of the quest.
No, it wasn't Divinity.
Well, anyways, doesn't matter, Cyn. I don't care that much, but this is good news, right? You happy they're increasing it?
Yes. I am super pumped.
All right. So that's question asked and question answered, and we're excited, and it's all apropos. It's all going with the TWID here, and perfect timing for that question. Should we read more of the TWID?
Shards are gone. Shards gone. That.
All right. Good talk.
The what was it? The PvP. Some PvP changes coming. Some exotic changes they were making.
So you're just doing the high level overview. Okay, yeah. I gotcha. We can't just say shards are gone. We don't have to go over all of this, but
no. It's to me, it doesn't make a difference to me. With 30-some thousand in my inventory, shards were never an issue. Mm-hmm. And now they're just piling them up, and they're just going to go away. And what? I think they're going to start deprecating them next season, with the final deprecation going away in season 24, if I remember reading correctly.
Yes. Yeah, there will be less places you need to use them next season, and then with final shape, they are totally gone. Now,
It's just one less currency I have to buy raid banners. So I might just go stock up on a bunch of raid banners before they do that. Instead of spending Glimmer.
Yeah, I mean, they did kind of give a little update further down that people are already thinking of little things like this. And so I do hope, I know I'll stock up on raid banners too. I do hope then maybe for things that were much more economically, pleasant buying through Shards versus Glimmer, like raid banners. Hopefully then they'll lower the cost if Glimmer's the only option.
Right. My fingers are crossed for that because what was it? 50K Glimmer for 10. And that's a little bit much, to be quite honest with you. I am much more apt to spend my shards for that.
Yeah. Here's my thought. Also, I don't really care. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done this. I'm not saying they should have done this. It seems fine. It's always good to simplify. Although we're getting almost a little too simple here soon where Glimmer will be the only thing. It's not really like that, but I'm kind of like, I'm a little worried the trend we're going. And then also, why now? That's kind of like the thing I was also asking about. Like, all of a sudden, PvP is like a focus now. I'm like, okay, why? People were upset for a while with PvP. Why now all of a sudden? It's not like I'm not saying that like, well, they shouldn't do it because it's this late in the ecosystem of Destiny, but like really, like I'm curious, like why now? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I have a lot also, and even when I was starting a new character as an experiment once, shards weren't an issue because I played the game the same way I played it when I was a new player. I was patient, and I knew what I mean, I didn't know everything that I wanted, but I knew not to spend too many resources right away and to get rid of things that I didn't need that seemed lower,
Right.
So the thing, though, that makes me slightly happy is, with them getting rid of it, then you think like, well, those of us that are smart and don't hoard a lot of stuff, what's the point then of dismantling things, right? Well, luckily, Bungie is telling us it's still good to dismantle things. And what they are going to do is offer Glimmer again, but then there's going to be the secondary reward of enhancement cores. And for legendary armor, there's a 25% chance you'll get enhancement core. For exotic armor, there's a 60% chance you'll get enhancement core. You'll also get gunsmith reputation. So there you go. Another reason that can be good to dismantle stuff. I think this is actually the bigger story. Even though people don't understand or want to admit it, like it's good people to dismantle things. It really is. And if we're getting gunsmith rep, we didn't get that before, did we? No, maybe we did for the weapons. For the weapons, yeah. Did we get it for armor too?
I think for anything you dismantled.
Okay, but we're getting the Glimmer and we're getting the enhancement cores and everything, so it's still worth it. Yep. So anything else interesting about that? I'm just looking through it right now. They tell what some costs will be, and you have to have Ingrams to get things, but what type of Ingrams? We were talking with Rodimus about this before the show. I mean, I think it's going to be the Ingrams that are appropriate to the type of things, but they are still a little bit vague here in the TWID when I'm looking through it. Like new ritual weapons, and that doesn't seem to be seasonal stuff. So what Ingram? Just a powerful Ingram? Legacy weapons, Iron Banner weapons. Obviously, that's the Iron Banner Ingrams. Trials weapons will be the Trials Ingrams, but all these other things, are we just going to be moving to a Ingram shortage?
Probably.
And then we'll be like, see, people, get what you ask for.
But maybe I don't think we're running really into an Ingram shortage, though, because I have tons of Ingrams for the seasonal vendors.
But that's not what we're talking about. These seem like the powerful Ingrams instead of the seasonal Ingrams.
I still don't think we're going to run into a shortage, though.
Well, as long as they need to stack these Ingrams just like they're stacking the seasonal Ingrams. It's annoying having to still deal with Ingrams in the Postmaster and Ingrams on my screen. That Cyn I can only hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 10.
10.
Okay,
Yeah.
10 is still 10, but I don't want to be like managing. I'm always getting rid of those, but if they would stack like the seasonal ones do, then it'd be less to worry about. Because here it says Legacy Armor is 5 Ingrams. So we have to then like remember to always keep at least 5 in our Postmaster or on our screen, or else we're going to be out of luck. Or wait for 5 more to show up, or hopefully they'll just stack them going forward.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see what they got planned for that.
Yeah. So that's interesting news. Take it as you will.
Or don't take it.
Master Mode is coming out September 19th.
Yes, with the challenges.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Not excited that kid who got a team and he's cheating on us.
Don't use the word us.
Okay. Maybe he's not cheating on you.
I don't know or care. Oh, man. Let's see what else is here. They're talking about Iron Banner stuff they don't really care about. What do you know about this, Cyn?
Banner, they talk about the modes. Checkmate's coming to Crucible, this coming week, I think. And then there was another Supremacy style Iron Banner game type that they were talking about, which basically you deposit
it's called Tribute.
Yeah, you deposit these tributes, and that's how you can kind of bank your points. It seems interesting. It's something different and unique. I don't know how long it'll keep its luster, though.
Yeah, I don't either. I really don't get, like, I feel like, and I'm not trying to knock on this, but like the people that are still really into Iron Banner are just doing it for tradition's sake. Like they feel like it comes around and they have to run Iron Banner, but like, do people really, really like Iron Banner, or is it more just tradition? I don't know.
I think it's just tradition at this point.
But then it's silly in my opinion, especially when like you're putting other things to the side, just because Iron Banner's around that week. At least Destiny has learned their lesson and tried to do less things at the same time, Not, what was it? They don't have other things on weeks when it's Iron Banner.
Yeah, no trials, no Iron Banner coinciding, which is nice.
Because I'll tell you a story I remember now from way back when I was starting Destiny, and one of my customers, they're not a customer of mine anymore. They moved on to other things, but I remember I was just getting into Destiny 1, and talking to a friend over there working on computers, and somehow the topic came up of this new game I started playing, and he had been playing Destiny already. And even when I started, of course, I wasn't really caring about the Crucible stuff as much, but and I know Iron Banner seemed bigger back then, Rodimus, in Destiny 1. Because he was like, oh yeah, and Destiny's a really fun game, and yeah, all the story missions are fun, but then there's also like I don't remember how often it came around, but let's just say once a month. And then there's like the once a month Iron Banner. It's like quite the event. Like everyone plays Iron Banner. Like he was making it sound like no one does anything else in the game. Like no ratings going on. No, none of this. And I do have to agree with that a little bit. Even I would play Iron Banner a bit back then. I felt like it was kind of like, yeah, like maybe we'll raid during Iron Banner week, but only if we're doing some Iron Banner before and after. And the raid's just definitely an afterthought. Like if we can fit it in. Now it's more like Iron Banner's the afterthought if we can fit in an Iron Banner.
I mean, at least for us. I know there's still some people that go, like you said, go out there and do that, but it's definitely, I go into it every now and again. I do not grind my face off for the gilding or anything like that. That's just way too much.
Yeah, I'm not knocking on it, but I'm truly just guessing and thinking overall population, it's not as popular as it has been. And I just wonder if some people just do it for tradition's sake. Because I also hear a lot of complaining about Iron Banner, and like, well, then don't do it if you're not having as much fun. Just play a different Crucible mode or something. And that's again where it comes into tradition's sake. People in everything in this world, not just in gaming, but in a lot of things, people do things for tradition, just for tradition's sake, when they shouldn't necessarily be doing that if it's causing problems. But that's a whole other topic. All right. What else in the TWID? Let's see.
It's
here.
broken. While you're looking at that, I don't think you touched on this, but RNG said in the chat that maybe the legendary shards were more so for planning for the episodes coming out.
Like what? Just
I don't know. Maybe they're planning for something big during the during episodes.
Well, either way, yeah. Like we were talking, I don't know how much you heard, but we're good with this. Don't really care too much one way or the other.
Yeah.
In general, I say it's a plus, a very, very small plus, and with some concern of long-term thinking of how some other things will work, but I don't have any big concerns. That's for sure. All right. Yeah, I mean, this last week we got a clear in Crota with Elmer Fudd Games. Shout out to him.
Yes.
Yep. And got a clear with Gator. Shout out to him. And
GGs.
Probably lots of other people. I just want to mention those names. Great people in the community. Shout out to everyone that we play with. We're having a lot of fun in Crota.
That indeed. And Cheesy's first run too with Fudd. That was the
right.
one I jumped
and
in.
RNG, of course.
Yep. Yes, an RNG Gator.
Mm-hmm.
That was the night I was rooting for Kato to be super tired and bail out during the final encounter. Kato, when you go back and listen to this, I'm sorry, but thank you.
I swear, too, like I've been seeing... Okay, here's how it's been going in my experience, and this may just be coincidence for now, but I've not been joining like any raids in the raid bot, even though there's more than ever, yet I'm still hopping in this raid super often. And it's not just like we're back channeling things, but like people are like coming to me from all sorts of parts of the community, not just Guardian Hub, and like, hey, we need someone or whatever. I'm like, okay. So I don't even really have to go looking for it. And I kind of like this style more right now anyways. I'm more of a go by the seat of my pants type of person. Not like I don't like things scheduled, but I thrive more because then I can be more talked into it. If it's like, a scheduled raid that's like a week out, sometimes I'm like, it almost seems like a chore. Is that weird to say? Like, it's not really, but it's like, yeah. But I don't know. I just like having fun with it, being more flexible. And then also what I've seen more so than ever is people wanting to swap in for someone who's swapping out. Not just you and Ed, that's kind of the joke, but like, someone has to go and there's like 10 people waiting in the wings that are actually messaging me or messaging the chats ahead of time, even before the person is like leaving, saying, hey, if anyone drops, got some of that Crota, that meme. So seriously.
I mean, for me, it's more so for the emblem, right?
Yeah.
For the Sherpa emblem, because of my timing, I have a lot less time on my hands to be going and looking and setting up these groups. So it's harder for me to plan things out with my work schedule.
Yeah, but remember that Sherpa emblem doesn't even look as good as the main one.
I don't know. I do like it. It's kind of grown on me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm keeping my Hawaii emblem for now. Nothing will probably get me to change that anytime soon.
Nothing's going to stop you now?
Nope, nothing's going to stop me now.
And I'm waiting for that song to get caught in Kato's head.
If he's listening to this after the fact.
Oh, he does.
All right. What else do we have, Cyn? Any other questions for the show? Does not look like it. Any other things on your mind? The TWID came out with some, that was good news. Kind of last second for us today.
Yeah.
The story's awesome.
I looked at it for once.
Yeah. The story's still a banger. We got a second elemental card this week. I went for Arc. I don't know what you went for. Or have you not even done it?
I did Arc. The the things you have to activate in the Lost Sector were timed. So I was like, I don't remember the Void ones being timed when I did that. But yeah, I haven't gone back to go pick up either of the elemental cards from the Spire, and I'm missing a couple of the secret chests, unfortunately, in week 2 and week 4. So there's
not a week. There's not a week 4. It's cycled back around to week 1.
No, okay. Well,
yeah,
I'm missing week 2.
Yes, you are, but at least you won't have to wait 6 weeks.
Correct.
Since it seems to cycle around like that.
Yeah, that's a plus.
Yeah. Well, I can show you where the cards are for Void and Arc, both in Spire and Altars.
All right. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, with that, I think we'll start to wrap up this show. As always, if you're listening to this, please drop questions for us however you want. There's lots of ways we'll accept it. Most preferably in the Discord, the Guardian Hub Discord. We have a questions for the show channel. Well, it's called Podcast Questions for the Show. And then there's a form post at the top that's pinned, easy to find. You can also write it anywhere in the Discord, and we'll try to remember that. You can, you can send it to X or Twitter or Blue Sky as we're getting more people on there.
I do have a kind of like a kind of announcement about that. We do have that questions, like you said. One good thing is we do not have a backlog of questions, so we can get your answer, or we can answer your questions quickly.
Mm-hmm. Well, quickly at least when we have our next episode.
Correct.
So if you post it Friday morning.
If you post it, we will come. Pause.
Okay. We better close out the show.
It's getting close to After Dark with that.
Yes, it is. Maybe we'll have After Dark tonight. We had a small one last week.
Yeah.
Very small.
I try to put little tidbits in every now and again.
Yeah. I do have a couple people in the wings for guests.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'll
you gonna
tell
spurl
you. Sure.
Don't you sure me.
I mean, we'll be, I just don't know when, but I'm sure these people will come on. We'll probably have Elmer Fudd first, and then we're definitely gonna have Fluffy Fingers, hopefully in October. So working on that right now. Yep. I usually don't like doing this, but these are like people that I'm sure we'll get eventually. It's not like just the one-off ones that sometimes it's hard to schedule. So there you go.
True.
We'll let you know as it's getting closer, and we can think of questions for them.
Solid.
All right. Well,
show recorded. Show in the bucket.
Yep.
Where can they find me? They can currently find me getting cloud striked in the face in Crucible, or on Blue Sky Cyn Media, X Cyn_media, and of course in the Discord, as always. Kingsley, chirpa me daddy, take it out.
I'll go with that too. You can find me as Kingsley Mac all the places, and a little bit more on Blue Sky these days. We'll get you all over there eventually if you want. Don't you worry. Either through invites. We should probably start a channel in the Discord where we can give invites.
Right.
No, probably not. But we do have a lot of invites coming in from time to time, or maybe they'll make it public soon.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, I'm looking at the chat now. Other than that, we have new ambassadors for Guardian Hub. This is some nice little announcement at the end of the show. You want to announce who they are, Cyn?
Yes. Recently added Mr. Sweaty Spooks and Danger Powers.
Awesome. Yeah. So Sweaty Spooks, we'll start with him first. Great addition. Another podcast in our Owl Sector Alliance. Blueberry Lounge, of course. And a great addition to kind of get some of that cross-contamination going.
Cross-pollination.
Sure. No, we love it. And Danger Powers, I've actually had the idea for a while too. And I'm like, hey, Cyn's bringing in one. I'll bring in one also. So much shout out to Danger Powers. Danger Powers is a great addition to very level-headed person and good ideas. So there you go.
Love it.
All right. Our show you can find, you're listening to us right now, but we do have a website where we have lots of cool information there on like how to join our Discord. Find us on Twitter, soon to be Blue Sky, yada, yada, yada. You can find our show. Just go to our website, theguardianhub.com.
The best hub on the net.
Thank you, Cyn.
Thank you, Kingsley.
You're welcome.
And
I didn't say it high that time.
Right? You're welcome. And thank you to all the lovely magical listeners out there.
And we will catch you all again next week. Have a good one.
Bye.